Well, I'm coming through on this a lot later than I actually wanted to, but hey, better late than never. Late than never, or however that goes. I don't know. Either way, it's A&J. We're back with some more sports talk, and it's Super Bowl Sunday, y'all. It doesn't get much bigger than this. Super Bowl 60 out in Santa Clara. The New England Patriots set to face the Seattle Seahawks. Rematch Super Bowl 49. I mean, really incredible all the things that happened back then, and hell, even some of the things that have happened since then. I don't even think we need to go into all of those details, but it certainly has been a lot, and hell, there's definitely been a lot just within the NFL when you get to thinking about it. Of course, that was the first of another three Super Bowls that Tom Brady and Bill Belichick were able to ring together, yet somehow Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft are not going to the Hall of Fame, which obviously is baffling for all the reasons that you would think, but hey, that's a whole other conversation for a whole other day. I'm not trying to get into any of that either. And of course, even since then, we had a bit of the Chiefs and Andy Reid Mahomes sort of dynasty. Like I said, again, a lot has happened within all that time. Of course, 10 years ago was the last time the Broncos won the Super Bowl. And on that very same field, mind you. I mean, there's just so many things that, again, just with the NFL itself, you could talk about within the last 11 years. And yet, all the things that culminate into tonight are just every bit as special when you get to breaking it down. Of course, you think about the Patriots on one side of it, where, needless to say, they are going in the underdogs, and they kind of have been the underdogs throughout a lot of I guess, the season or whatever the case may be. Not really sure how that's the case, but of course, getting through the Chargers, the Texans, and the Broncos in the way that they were able to, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, you just got to give these dudes credit. And, you can talk about how they had the easiest schedule, this, that, and the third. I mean, that really doesn't even matter because they're playing today. All of that sort of shit goes out the window at this point, especially given the ways that they were able to get here. And I guess this seems to be one of their advantages, that interior front on the defensive line, particularly Christian Barmore, Chris Tonga, I think is how you say that name, but most notably Milton Williams, former Super Bowl champion with the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, those three collectively have been the key to New England's success thus far in the postseason. And in all honesty, that could be just as much problematic as it has been for anyone else that New England has gone against. But for that matter, they've actually influenced a majority of the turnovers the Patriots defense has actually forced in the entirety of the playoffs. And I mean, just looking at it from an honest perspective, it's actually remarkable that they're underdogs, especially to the extent that they are. I mean, people are going as far as saying Seattle should blow them out. I don't believe that to be the case at all. In fact, just given the nature of the history, I feel like they're going to keep it close one way or another, to say the very least. And at that point, all bets could very easily be off. Now, the flip side of this is that the Seahawks, obviously coming in, as mentioned, the heavy favorite, and understandably so, number one defense in the league, and it's actually been something else. I feel like, if nothing else, it was kind of like what they've been saying about the Broncos. And you could even argue this point about the Patriots as well to some degree. They're capable of carrying a team to a championship. I mean, all of the defenses that got into the playoffs, you could argue, are capable of carrying a team to a championship. But of course, without all the other requisite pieces, as it's been proven, it just, at the end of the day, it really doesn't even matter. That's just obvious shit right there. But you look at the path that Sam Darnold has gone down over the years. I mean, starting in New York with how disastrous things can be, and really has been for the most part for so many Jets quarterbacks in recent past. I mean, going all the way back to Mark Sanchez, who I feel like has seen probably the most success of any Jets quarterback in a long time for that franchise. I mean, it's really just crazy to see how all of that has unfolded over the years. And, he goes from that to Carolina, out to San Francisco, and of course, ultimately to Minnesota, where he actually is seeming like he's onto something. He actually got the Vikings into the playoffs. Of course, got knocked out in the wild card round by the Los Angeles Rams, but I mean, the things that you saw from this dude, I don't know that anybody had particularly anticipated at any point. I guess it really just depends on who you ask. And of course, Minnesota ultimately deciding to go with their number 10 overall pick from 2024 in J.J. McCarthy, let Sam Darnold go to Seattle, where he's now literally potentially 60 minutes away from hoisting Lombardi Trophy. I mean, what a storyline. It just, you can't write him anything quite like this, and if nothing else, he's still a bit of an underdog himself. Definitely has a huge, probably even ginormous chip on his shoulder. So, he's gonna look to be coming out with something to prove in this game. And it's not gonna be easy because, again, those defensive three on that New England front, I don't know that they're going to make that all that easy on him, which is why I believe the game is going to be close one way or another. So, all that being the case, I mean, of course, you factor in the whole thing with Nick Eamon-Wari, who had a ankle injury earlier in the week in practice, is expected to play. And then, of course, Reek Woolen, DeMarcus Lawrence, amongst so many others. I mean, you got a hungry group on that defense, and they're all come into play today. I have no doubt in my mind about that, and I don't doubt that for either side, truthfully. I mean, I've been really back and forth with this, and maybe this is kind of the reason I took so long to get this video off, but for me, picking a winner in this just isn't as easy as you would think. I mean, this could very easily be as much anyone's game as it ever has been. Of course, if Seattle does get to that lead, it's hard to go against them at that point, and it's going to be hard to imagine they're going to take the foot off the gas. But I do believe these Patriots are tough, and they're going to be tough enough to hang in there with them. And again, at that point, who knows what'll wind up happening from there. So, with all that being said, I am actually going to go with Seattle in this one. And the final score is so damn tricky. But I'm going to go something along the lines of 28 to 24. It's actually the score that they had in the Super Bowl back in Super Bowl 49. So, yeah, they're just going to flip it this time around. It's going to be Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks coming through. Mike Macdonald leading the team to their second championship in franchise history. Of course, Kenneth Walker's playing for a contract, even more so than ever. So we'll see how all that winds up going. But let me know what y'all think down below. Who y'all got today? Who do y'all see being Super Bowl MVP? I mean, be perfectly honest with you, I have a tough time going against Jackson Smith and Jigba, but who knows on that one. Cooper Kupp was a Super Bowl MVP the last time he was in it. We'll see. Either way, let me know what y'all think down below. Like, share, subscribe, and of course, help me out on that algorithm. Definitely hit that notification bell so y'all know when more videos are coming through. That being said, this has been your time with A&J, and I'll see y'all within a couple hours.